Apologies, y'all. My chat's not working. My Streamlabs chat's not working. So I'm opening it on the browser. I'm realizing that for whatever reason it's not working. How's everybody doing? Hello, A-Carts. No desktop audio feels deaf, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, Omega. Thank you for the late birthday wishes. Yeah, I am here. I wasn't chatting because there was no chat going. I don't know why, but now it's back. There is no desktop audio. I am listening to music that's copywritten. I found that I've always found that the music that I listen to whilst I work is very important to my psyche of what I'm doing. And whenever I stream, I have to listen to whatever music, I'm allowed to by YouTube. And I was like, maybe I'm just being a baby. I'll listen to, I'll listen to stuff that's copyright free. And then after doing all the streams and stuff, I found that the general quality of what I was producing on stream was far worse than what I usually do. And it's probably partially because I'm distracted. But I want to get to the bottom of whatever that problem is and resolve it. So there is sadly no music today. Too lazy to go to the dentist. Classic. That's actually a pretty gangster idea. But then it's like, then I'm stuck listening to the same songs all the time. And granted, I'm listening to the same music I've been listening to like all week. But I don't know. There's something about listening to the correct stuff that just helps me produce good stuff. You know? Yeah, music is pretty brutal for that. How's it going, Bucket? Find out when I subbed? I don't even know how I would do that. Render time. Would it be in my notifications? I don't even know where I would get that info. Beep. Beep. Do, 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 do. I can't sort or search in this page. And it's not ordered by name. I have no idea where I would. 1 out of 10 of many. Holy frick, there's a lot. Make an animation where a cylinder explodes into 20 equally sized pieces where all of them fall into a pattern and looks like a decagon all within a time span of 10 seconds. That sounds easy. I sadly don't have the means to do that quickly. But if I could, I would. One K subs makes it easier. May 26th, 2025. It is helpful. You were subscribed on May 6th. Bum, 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 bum. $26th. What are the chances? Happy birthday, Mom. Cartoons. Wow. It's a match made in heaven. If I had known, I would have held on. It's a pretty substantial amount. We're getting there. Working on it. I'm working on it. How's it going, Potato? I like French fries. It's kind of like a potato. How's it going, Jay Wall? What's your favorite messaging app? Messenger, 100%. I got Messenger right here. Love Messenger. Yeah, sorry, Jay Wall. I was just chatting about that when I first got in. The the fact that I can't listen to the music that I want on stream just really blows. So I found it's just motivated me to not stream because I care about working with the music that I like. So I figured a quiet stream is better than no stream, but I understand that the atmosphere is definitely not the same. Fair enough. I like Messenger. Definitely the simplest interface, which I enjoy. Yeah, the beauty of it is you can always like open a new tab and play whatever music you want. But um, if you are on a phone, you're kind of screwed. How's it going, stereo? Yeah, we're doing both. We're not really doing much editing. It's more just checking out the shot to make sure that it works in Premiere. But we just animated this shot, and then we're going to put it in Premiere, and then we're going to animate another. We're probably going to be doing some... modeling today as well. Just based on what I have in on my docket. Drop. Whoops. For sure, JWell. Used to work with a ton of Autodesk. Trying to switch to Blender. Interesting. Yeah, I think Autodesk products are definitely just more respected right now in the realms of professional work, but give it a few years and Blender will definitely get there. Especially now that Flow did so good. It's a really good testament to Blender being just a little bit more accepted in the industry, because right now it's obviously not getting the same amount of cred as other software. It's new and it's free, and those are just gonna breed disrespect from like all the snooty elitists out there. It happens, unfortunately. Said I love you too. I said nothing's new, nothing's changed. I still need you. Never knew what I need when I need you. Yeah, I've only ever known Maya, so it's kind of one of those things. It's like go with what you know. You know, I have not. I have not attempted to learn anything else. Just Maya and Adobe Premiere and Photoshop is basically 100% of what I do. My specs are not that crazy, to be honest, which is why we get long times like this. I have oh, I'm getting a phone call that I currently cannot answer. I have a GTX 3050, I believe. Pretty sure it's a 3050. In Maya, I'm just rendering with hardware 2.0. So, nothing special. Just the built-in crap. Okay. I'm only getting started. It must, because that's what I work with. 1050 is not bad. I did most of what I used to do on 1050 on a 1050 or 1070. Nothing crazy. And I definitely don't need the 3050. I upgraded to the 3050 just for like video games and stuff. But it's certainly not necessary for what I do. Yeah, the flat shaded style. It's just surface shaders. So everything you're seeing in the viewport is rendered on hardware 2.0, and all of it is just cooked in textures. So I have my texture here in Photoshop, which I just edited, and then I have my UVs unwrapped as such, and then I just have like cartoon textures applied to them, drawn in Photoshop. So I don't want to undermine what I've got going on, but it's certainly not complicated. But simple does not mean bad, fortunately, or I would be screwed. Time for a new shot. true. It's true. Simplicity is difficult to master. Yeah, she is very small for this bike, but in the funnest way. Okay, we will fix that later. Yeah, the 3D tricks, little cheeky tricks, are definitely nice. It's the beauty of animation is you can kind of do anything you want. On hardware, it's faster for me to render it on my hardware than it is for me to launch Unreal Engine 5. My stuff does not take long to render. Some shots do when they're really long or really complicated, but it's not worth changing up the pipeline for. Well, cumulative time, I just rendered out this shot in like 5 minutes of waiting, 10 minutes maybe. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 passes of render layers. What's up?
You streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Do you know what time we're going to your dad's?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I'll call him and ask.
Toots.
At some point.
Okay. Toots my goots.
Okay.
What?
No.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. If I was doing stuff with lights and reflections and shadows, then sure. But I do not have any lights, shadows, reflections, or physics built into any of my stuff. So there is no need. Yeah, I spent a long time developing a style that worked without the need for any of that jazz, because rendering is not fun. It's not interesting. It's frustrating. I used to do it. I used to use Mental Ray when I first got started. And And yeah, rendering is it's just like not it's just not fun. So I slowly developed a style that was like more and more like cutting out the parts of the process that I don't like. I'd much rather work on a project that I think is fun to work on than if it were um, visually incredible in terms of like uh, the objective standard. Because objective standard in Maya at least is usually not this style. It's usually realism, or it's usually like trying to be like super heavy on the lines and stuff, which I also used to do. I I used to do like whatever, like the anime lines. Like in theory, I could take this character, and the way that I used to do it is I would take a character like this. I would duplicate the mesh, turn on backface culling, set a transform value. I don't know. I haven't done this in a while. Let's say 0.1. No, let's say 0.1. Good old Maya taking a dump. This was a mistake. But basically, I duplicate my mesh. I transform its faces, and then I paint them black, and then I turn on backface culling, which is good. It looks good if you want the black lines. I don't like the black lines, so I don't do that anymore. But I used to do that a lot. I'm not familiar with Flare. Maya is notoriously gets a reputation of being expensive because it's not free, but Maya does have an indie license that is pretty cheap relative to their regular plan. It's like a tenth of the price. Yeah, the only things that I've bound to my taskbar are File Explorer and Microsoft Edge. Yeah, hundred. If you're making $100,000 a year, and you can buy the license, is kind of the idea. $100,000 is a pretty respectable living to then give the software that enabled you to acquire it some love, you know? I think it's a pretty fair trade-off. Yeah, I'm not saying you have to like use Autodesk. By all means, when people come around who are learning and they ask like what they should do if they just want to learn independently, I always recommend Blender. I use Maya just because it's what I know. How's it going, Rat? Let's go, Rat Muncher. What have we worked on before? Oh, yeah, stereo. What you got? That resume, it's stacking up. How's it going, Landon and Emma? How's life? Yeah, thanks for sticking around, Too Deep. Appreciate you leaving the stream on. Yeah, I'm not currently looking to switch anything up right now with my current pipeline. I've worked really hard to get to a point where I finally know how to make stuff, and now I'm finally at a point where I can learn how to make stuff look good and look like I want it to, and I don't really have any desire to shake things up in terms of the pipeline. Maybe one day if I get bored or if there's a project that I want to approach that I can't really do with Maya. But right now, everything that I have set up, especially for this project, is certainly attainable by this software. And I have arguably some pretty bombastic stuff planned. So maybe one day I'll branch out. For now, it's certainly not on my playbook to change the pipeline at all. Because what I've been doing has just been so pleasing in terms of how it's turned out. I've been animating for a long time, and I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. Now I finally feel like I kind of know, and I don't want to jeopardize that in any capacity. So maybe one day, but not today. Shake your head at me, baby. I just want you to love me, going crazy. Yeah, I'm slowly figuring it out. Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning new skills in the form of um, learning how to make stuff work in Maya. So I still feel like I'm learning every time I make something, and every time I make something, it gets exponentially better. Um, so until I plateau, feel like I'm out of ideas, or get bored, I will be right here in Maya, getting her done. Ah, lad, yeah. Fair enough. Rig looks nice and clean. Thank you. Um, the um, the rig is very, very clean because it is very, very it lacks control that like whatever a big studio rig would have. Um, things are pretty restrictive, but I make up for it with blend shapes. I kind of just again I found a way to make my style work for what I want to do. Um, I was like, man, how do people do squash and stretch in 3D? It's so difficult. And then I look and they have like complicated rigs to like move the bones around and stuff. And I was like, I don't want to make a complicated rig because rigging is not fun. So how else can I do squash and stretch and smears and stuff? And then I figured out my own way, which it's not like it's not never been done before, but I found a way that is not like having a complicated rig. So then I make up for the effects that I need um, in hindsight. Thinking about making some mute characters? Heck yeah. Simple and functional is an accomplishment. Yeah, it it didn't get here overnight. Definitely took some figuring out to do. And by figuring out, I mean like every project I'm like trying to optimize and trying to approach things a little bit different until it finally works. And Skifters is the first time where I feel like everything's genuinely working. We're getting there. We're still learning. If we're in a cook real good. Sounds good, Stereo. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, I am going to make a quick phone call. I'll be back in a moment. I am back. Da, 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 da. How's it going, Golden Guy? No, I didn't get copyrighted per se. I'm not like I'm not using anything that's copywritten or that I don't have the rights to, with the exception of music that I listen to on stream. So I have my desktop audio turned off for the stream. I have been listening to stream safe music, and I find that the stream safe music is causing me to just have just poor psych. I like to listen to what I like to listen to on the stream. I feel like it gets good work done. So I have the audio off for the stream so that I don't get copyrighted and I can listen to what I want. I know that it kind of makes the stream potentially a less ideal experience, especially for people who can't open another tab and put some music on. But I do believe that it is going to produce a better result of what I've been working on, because I don't want to feel like I have to hate working while I'm working because I can have the stream on. I want to listen to what I want to listen to. I'm a very music driven person. What I listen to affects my mood and affects my psyche pretty heavily. I don't get like depressed if I'm not listening to the wrong stuff or like angry, but it definitely affects my mood. So sadly, no music on the stream, but it's going to breed better animation, I think. Do you get monetized by YouTube already? I am not monetized by YouTube. There's one requirement left for my channel that I need to become monetized on YouTube, and that is 4,000 public watch hours, which I don't have. I like streaming. I like talking to you guys. But one of the reasons also that I've been streaming is to help bump those public watch hours. I need 4,000 public watch hours. I'm currently at like 1,500 public watch hours. But my videos aren't super long, so I don't accumulate a lot of that very quickly. So that's my current YouTube stretch goal. But I'm not really like gonna lose sleep if we don't hit that immediately. Takes time. Yet, exactly. We do have some new patrons, which is really awesome. If anybody out there watching wants to support the show, Patreon is the best way to support me as a creator, and keep the animations a-flowing. Oh, this. Gotcha. Yeah, got a couple new patrons. That was really cool to see. Seeing some love on the channel. So yeah. Live streams do count. Which is, like I said, one of the reasons I'm live streaming. I am planning on making the videos longer. What you've been seeing on the channel is little like eeks and sneaks and peeks of the pilot episode of Skifters. The pilot episode currently, the runtime is about 10 minutes, 11 minutes, give or take. So once the whole pilot is done, then I'm going to upload the entire pilot as a whole, obviously, as is the way it's designed to be made. The reason that you've been seeing these little tiny videos on the stream is because that allows me to actually post consistently, because my stuff takes a long time to make. And if I waited 10 minutes, if I waited for 11 minutes of animation to be done before uploading anything, I would upload twice a year. So in an effort to make the algorithm kind of happy and show face on the platform, I got to do what I got to do. Just had some good sleep. Heck yeah. What if I don't have money? You don't need to have money to enjoy the content. If you're in a position where you have the luxury of money to give to creators that you want, including but not limited to myself, that's a good thing. But don't feel like you need to enjoy the content. That is so not the message that I want to send. I want to animate full time and be a full time artist, but not at the cost of alienating anybody from enjoying the content, because that is far worse. We all want good animation. We all want good stuff. Good stuff, good animation, not free. Yeah. Has been, whatever that company is that makes that show, they found a way to monetize their monetize their animation to make it profitable, which is awesome. Um, uh, I have not had the means to do that. And like many independent creators who don't have a studio or production backing, like a bigger show, I have to find a way to eke in some dollars while I can so that I can do this. Because it's not free. It was never free, and it'll never be free. If it worked with a full team, the more people, the better. I disagree. I don't agree that bigger is better, per se. There's so nothing wrong with working with a big team, but the more people that are touching it, the more cooks in the kitchen, the more watered down things become over time. Just naturally, everyone has different creative opinions, different ways of doing things, different levels of skill, different taste. All those things can mix and gel really well to make something special, and that's awesome. But those things, those differences of style, taste, skill can also clash and cause things to be worse than they could have been were they done by one. So it's not to say that everything that's done with less people is better. But I think that it's not to say that the more people, the better it'll turn out, because that is not always true. And to answer your question, which I didn't actually do, I have worked with people before. Um, I have both worked in animation with like a boss above me telling me what to do. I have worked with effects people. I've worked with voice actors. I've worked with musicians. And in my experience, it has always in my experience it's always been frustrating being told what to do. Been frustrating having a difference of artistic taste than someone else who's working on the project, and then we make compromises. And at times frustrating to get music or performances or whatever like passed down the pipeline to myself. So like I said, nothing wrong with working with a team, but I think what's more important is having the right team that works together properly. And I don't have that. And therefore, working independently is the vibe and probably will be for a long time for me. Okay, how am I going to do this? Inside you will grow. That doesn't mean you're not already home. Mistakes that you've made. It's okay. Inside you will grow. But that doesn't mean you're not already home. Mistakes that you made will stay in the past. Mm-hmm. 50.7. You may have taken the lead, but I'll even the score. You won the battle, you won't win the war. Mm-hmm. Can't stick around for long, but where can I send you fan art? Heck yeah. Um, you can send it me on Twitter, or you can tag me on YouTube, or I don't really have an open. You don't have Twitter. Um, what is the best way to do that? I don't really know. YouTube, Twitter. What else do I have? Maybe red sack roses. You can email me. My email is on. I think my email's on my YouTube. My 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 business email. You can also. Oh, you can DM me on Patreon. That's also probably a good way. I believe you can DM someone on Patreon without needing to. Like if you're just you can follow for free on Patreon, and then you can message me that way, I believe. Are my tags open? I don't know what you mean on what. YouTube it is, then works for me. Cool. Yeah, YouTube is how people have been doing it so far. I've gotten one through Patreon, and then a couple through YouTube. But yeah, you can tag me on YouTube. Like, you can at me in a post, and I will see it. Python did one that took a minute for me to see it. I don't know why. It was a little delayed, but... Hi, Lucas. How's it going? Just get a blue sky, though. It's like Twitter, but good. I don't like Twitter. I have a Twitter account because it's one of the avenues that I can share my work. But eventually, when I am more established and not needing to kind of be everywhere, I will be deleting my Twitter because I don't care about Twitter. I shouldn't say that. I might keep my Twitter around. Maybe I won't delete it. But I certainly don't care about Twitter. It's more just a tool. Sorry, X. Yeah. You placed your faith in foes and now you're smothering the man. Yeah, my tag can be mentioned on YouTube. Bye, Ditamic. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for stopping by. How's it going, Python? How's it going, Gabriel? Trying to catch up on some of your live streams. Heck yeah. No desktop audio on this one for the sake of not getting copyright striked for the music, which might become the standard, so apologies there. How's it going? Last first. Yes, I'm working on a indie animated series. So currently working on the pilot. Anything you see on my channel, the little blips and stuff, are all little pieces from the pilot, which will all be uploaded as a whole when it's done. We're about 75% of the way through the pilot right now. We're getting there. More like 80% at this point. Yeah, I am making the pilot right now. Pilot is more of a buzzword. I am making this show to its completion, regardless of the success of the pilot. The intention of the pilot is not to, garnish any form of like, oh, I need, if we get to this stretch goal, I'm gonna make it. I will be making Skifters to completion, regardless of the success of the pilot. So I hope people enjoy it because I'm going to make it either way. This isn't much of an expression in and of itself, to be honest. There's no context for the audio, but it'll make sense contextually. You're okay.
Just going to grab something.
You done? Wow.
I gotta block it. Does it look boring?
No, I don't think it looks boring.
Without like a funky border?
No, looks good.
Okay.
And now you're free.
I'm free. I can move on. Sorry, ignore me.
What?
Ignore me. I'm just getting my block.
You're fine. Oh, gotcha. I think he's just he's waving his arms. He's just far away. No more clips. I'm going to have one clip left to post. Also, that ASCII is horrifying. Those eyes are something out of Adventure Time. I'm going to have one more clip to post from the pilot. and then I will not be posting clips of the final scene. The pilot's just going to come out when it's done, after this next clip. And then I'll start posting clips from episode 2 until episode 2 is complete, and so on and so forth. And then I don't think there will be any clips from the finale, in the interest of keeping the. I don't want to put out any like meaningful spoilers in the clips. And the finale, that's pretty much all it'll be if I post clips from the finale. So there will be no clips from the finale once it is complete. But yeah, that's subject to change if I post 2 from this episode. But I'm pretty sure there's only one clip to come from episode 1 before it's done, which is exciting. We are almost done episode 1. I like that better. Oof. See the circle. Yeah, 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 yeah. Why are they thick? Good question. I just like ridiculous stuff, yo. That's why we backed it up. Change that feeling. It's worth the while, Father, Son. Yeah, it crashed. Usually, if I have to undo keyframe deletions, it'll crash. Pretty annoying, but I kind of know when it's coming. Like if I need to Control Z out some keyframes and I know it's gonna happen, then I'll like back it up. So right there, just before I expected it to crash, I backed it up just in case, and then it did crash, so it didn't lose anything. But yeah, usually if it's gonna crash, 9 times out of 10, it's because I am being silly and Control-Zing out some keyframes. Make a difference. Nope. Well, yes, but I turned them off. Do, 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 do. Make a difference. Break out, break out. Turn the key to the world, I'm told. We're just plunking notes. No, I have auto backup turned off because there are times when you do something that's irreversible and then you want to undo it. And the best way to do that is to close Maya without saving. Like let's say you make let's say you do something that's irreversible and you want to undo it. But undoing it will probably cause you a crash. As a result, your best option is to close Maya and reload without saving. But if an auto backup saves when you didn't want it to, and you've done something irreversible, and you Control Z into a crash, then you're effed, which sucks. It's super rare that would ever happen, but it's happened before, and as a result, I just don't use auto backup because I don't want that to happen. And that is that. Okay, let's get the space and stars moving, and then this shot is pretty much done. See you soon. It's not always real. Yeah, it's just it's not worth my anxiety worrying about that kind of thing. So by doing it this way, I don't ever have to worry because I know how I've essentially like designed my settings to work, and as a result, I'll never have to worry about if it's going to do something janky on me. Because it has before. That would not really fix my problem, unfortunately. I like the first one, Rat Muncher. Yeah. You gotta be quick on the save draw sometimes. I've been there. Any conclusions? All right. That is a complete shot, baby. We got to render it out and probably end up doing a reshoot or two just based on how things look in Premiere. But for now, pretty happy with how all of this looks. And our little transition here is kind of fun. Cool. All right. I am going to render this out, and then I'm going to take a little break and eat lunch. So I am going to be stopping the stream here because the timing just makes sense. Render over lunch. Cool. That's going to be it for me. Thanks for hanging out. Wow, what's this app? I need it. Bad timing. Bad timing, W Gamer. We're out of here. But this is Maya. Autodesk Maya. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys in the next stream. I'll see you guys on the channel soon when the next segment drops. But we have